Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Lawrence.
And we run Range and Country Shooting Supplies and Airgun Club in Lincolnshire. And we're here to bring you honest reviews of air guns and shooting equipment. Today we bring you one of Air Arms' finest offerings in the TX200. This model is the walnut rifle length and it's an underlever. We stock this rifle in 177 and 22. And what sort of use do you think this would have, Lawrence? Pest control, target shooting, or a bit of everything, really?
What I'd say is probably mostly target work. Certainly be accurate and reliable enough for pest control, but it's not the lightest of rifles.
For carrying about?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. If you were shooting from a hide, you'd probably be fine, but I'd say mostly for target work.
Supremely accurate, premium rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Experience, do you have to be an experienced shooter to shoot this? I don't think you do.
No, don't have to be experienced necessarily, but like you say, it's going to be a higher end rifle. It's not necessarily going to be your entry level price range.
No, depending on your budget, of course. Yeah. Now, we said this is an underlever rifle, and this refers to this lever here, which is used to cock the rifle. Instead of having the brake barrel where you break the whole barrel and bring it down to compress the spring, we use this underlever here. Now, what's the benefits of an underlever, Lawrence?
So the beauty of the underlever is, while the arrows tend to be a little bit heavier, the barrel stays exactly the same. It's going to stay exactly there. It's fixed. It's not going to move at all. Whereas with a brake barrel, obviously you are braking the barrel, so it's moving each time. So you might get a bit of flex. You might lose a bit of accuracy from it returning each time.
Over the time, you can get a bit of droop as well, can't you?
Yeah. Whereas the underlevers, obviously, that's how it's going to stay, and you're using that to cock the rifle rather than the barrel itself.
No moderator available on this model, is there, on the rifle length? But there is on the Hunter Carbine.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, how much shorter is the Hunter Carbine than this rifle?
So the HC is about 2 inches shorter. It does make a difference, I promise. And that one is threaded for a silencer. So that'd be quite handy to have. You can have that for pest control, just keep the noise down a little bit. But the rifle length, yeah, that's it. The rifle length is not.
Yeah. Also
comes in, obviously, like we said here, we've got the walnut version here. This is the one that's a bit nicer to look at for the cameras. So we've got this one out today. But they also do the beech stock as well. The beech is a little bit heavier, but basically it feels the same, looks the same.
So is this available in a left hand, Lawrence? I noticed that we have a sharper bit on the stock there where the stock is performed for a right-handed shooter. And the pellet loading port is on the right-hand side here.
Yep, so the standard walnut and the beech are both dedicated right-handers. Obviously you've got that nice cheek piece on the left-hand side of the rifle for your cheek. And like you said, a quite sharp piece on the right. Whereas the dedicated walnut is completely opposite. Nice smooth section on the right here.
That's the left-handed one.
Yeah. And also the loading port, like you said, is turned around. They are a little bit more expensive though. So I think from our experience, but most people tend to go for one of the different ambidextrous guns. But they are very, very nice to look at.
In my experience, I think once you've bought one of these, you keep it.
Yeah.
I have delivered to several people though who they say the best gun I ever had was a TX200 or a Pro Sport, and the biggest mistake I made was selling it. I had one the other day and I said, "Why'd you sell it?" He laughed. Yeah, he says he's looking for another one now. So
yeah.
So what else have we got? We've got the fixed barrel, the underlever to cock it. I noticed when you pull that down, that brings the loading gate down. We'll go into that in a bit, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Now the action, again we said it's a spring action, isn't it? Not a gas ram, this one. So the underlever compresses the spring. 2-stage trigger.
Yep. Nice.
Auto safe.
Yep. So each time you cock the rifle, this little pin here will come across. You cock the rifle, put your pellet in. That makes it completely safe. when you close the barrel again, you can then click that little pin off and you're away. Nice and easy, nice and simple, nice and safe as well. And you said also about the trigger. So you've got 2-stage adjustable trigger in here. You've got a couple of little Allen key slots underneath. So you can make that very, very, very smooth.
Now, one thing I noticed, you can't put this safety catch on once you've taken it off, can you? So if you're out in the field and you decided, I'm not going to take that shot, or whatever I was aiming at has moved, you can't reapply the safety catch.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay, so what rail do we have on? I can see we have the 9 to 11 dovetail rail on here. Is there a benefit over a Picatinny? Picatinny would probably look a bit out of place on this traditional, wouldn't it?
I was just going to say, yeah, your 9 to 11 mil. There's a reason it's been a standard. It's nice and low profile. It's nice and unassuming. You can't really tell that there's a scope rail there, obviously, unless you know. The Weaver, the Picatinny would be, you'd have those bars running through it. Would look a bit off on such a nice looking rifle like the TX.
Traditional, I think, is the
yeah,
definitely. The TX200 is not one of the lightest rifles. In this guise, the walnut stock, it weighs in around about 3.9 kilos. The beech stock, around about 4.1, so a little bit heavier. Do save a little bit of weight with the beech, slightly less dense wood. What sort of length is it, Lawrence?
So the HC, the Hunter Carbine, is 995 millimeters, and the rifle length we've got here is 1055. So it's a little bit longer, like we said, about 2 inches longer.
Does that make all the difference?
You tell me.
I do think that makes a difference, the extra 2 inches. When it comes to loading it, it gives you a little bit more leverage to pull down on the underlever there. With the Hunter Carbine, I think it is more designed as an out in the field rifle, but it is a little bit harder to cock because you've got a little bit less leverage on that shorter lever. This one, probably more suited to range work, a little bit more length to it, a little bit easier. Now also that brings up another point. With the Hunter Carbine, you can fit the moderator onto it.
Yes, whereas with the rifle length you can't.
The tip's probably in the name, isn't it? Hunter Carbine.
So
so yeah, quietens it down if you are out in the field somewhere. Let's have a look at the loading gate, Lawrence.
So if we spin that onto the side, what we can see here is you've got the little bear trap on here with the 3 ratchet sections on the piston. So what that will do is, as we cock the rifle down, and as you alluded to, that actually opens up the loading gate there. And what you'll find is it will click. There we go. And it will click 3 times. After the 3rd time, you can then cock the rifle. So what that does is it gives you 3 different safety points. From there, you can, as I've done here, you can stop, you can take a rest, you can adjust your hands if you've got it in the wrong position. Yeah, just makes it a bit safer.
Okay, and so to bring that back at any point, you just press that in?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can actually decock that to a certain point, can't you?
Yeah.
Until you've brought the safety on. Even though we've got the underlever at the front, it's still quite nicely balanced, isn't it? Once you've got the scope on it, I think that does make the difference, brings the weight back a little bit.
Yeah, obviously you've got with the underlever and the barrel up front, it can be a little bit front heavy, but as soon as you get a scope on it, that brings that weight balance all the way back, makes it superbly comfortable, and very, very nice to hold in the shoulder as well. Obviously, for a right-handed person. You wouldn't want to shoot the right-handed model as a lefty, because you've got that quite sharp cheek piece on the side there.
You'd have to take a sander to that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. Okay, so shall we have a shoot with it? So let's see how this one performs. These scopes are superb, aren't they?
Yeah.
Safety. Now, I'm not the best springer shooter.
As we'll soon be able to see.
I shall make my excuses before the shots land. I'll take the safety off as well.
It's better. I will just say I can see, I've got a little monitor here so I can see how poorly he's shooting. If I'm not looking directly at you.
It is windy though, isn't it, today?
Yeah.
We've got quite a bit of crosswind.
Yeah, it is windy outside. Unfortunately, we're inside, but yes, it would be windy outside.
You're not meant to tell the viewers that.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
Where did that go?
Straight through the last hole. Do you want to just explain to the lovely ladies and gentlemen how to work that?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'll decock it. If you haven't cocked it all the way down, it is possible to decock it with the clicking the bear trap there. So what we do is, as we're bringing it down, now it does take quite a bit of effort, but it's not unfeasible. There's the first click, second click, third click. Now, especially when these are new, you need to give it that little bit extra, and that little noise right at the end is the safety catch coming out. So we have had that where people haven't, their words were, I didn't want to break it, which I don't think they would anyway. So there we go. Where did that go?
Through the last hole. Your first one was off in wherever you want to put it.
No, that was because the wind.
Yeah,
Sorry, that was the side wind that got that.
That was it. There was a little gremlin pushed the barrel up or something. There's 3 through the same hole on that last round.
No, now I've got something to live up to now, haven't I? Oh dear. Is that all right?
I think that's you. It was through the same hole as the first shot.
The first shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pleased with that, to be honest. That's 25 metres.
Yeah. That won't. I will have to clarify
that. Is that 15 millimetres difference between the two?
We'll have to clarify that is you. It's not. I will just say that's not the rifle. It won't be the rifle.
It was the wind, yeah.
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 If you're holding it in a different grip or you're squeezing it slightly differently,
absolutely,
springers will shoot differently. So there's two same hole groups there, and that's what the rifle would.
I'm pleased with that.
Yep.
That's
we didn't touch on the power. So we chronoed it earlier, and it was doing 11.1 foot-pound. This is in the 177, the rifle length version. Springers are a little bit more varied in their power outputs in general. Air Arms tend to be very, very good at getting them out at 11.1 to 11.4. They're usually pretty much bang on between those sort of values.
But with an underlever, I would find that for smoothness and accuracy, it doesn't have to be powerful. You know, a rifle putting out 10.6 can be supremely accurate and extremely smooth.
Yeah.
And it's not all about the power, it's about the accuracy, isn't it? Which, yeah, we need to reiterate, I think.
Bro, I think that's everything. Is that everything from you?
I think it is. It's certainly one of our favourite rifles. Superbly constructed. The action, everything is made in England, down in Hailsham. Stocks, obviously, most stocks are made in Italy, Minelli stocks. First class quality, superb. I don't think you will. I don't think anybody buying one of these would be disappointed.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.